Alright guys, I haven't been on here for a while talking about nursing, but after the day we had again today, I felt it was time to come back on again. Mondays, as any of you know, in any kind of service industry, especially healthcare, can be hell on wheels. That's Manic Monday. I come back as a triage nurse, and I'm not sure how many messages I will have from over the weekend that were dealt with by the on-call staff, and then I have to do follow-ups to make sure that they're doing okay, or to make appointments and get them in to be seen. Also, a lot of the physicians will do their messages over the weekend, so I can come back into like 100 messages on a Monday, as well as deal with the ones that are coming in throughout the day and any emergency ones. So last week I got a call. We are switching management in the clinic that I'm at. The one that I had been doing had enough of being a manager of a clinic and moved back into doing a career, just doing analysis on the computer and not having to deal with a lot of patients. So unfortunately, they moved up one of our younger nurses into the position of clinical manager, and she's being very corporate convinced, I guess, corporate manipulated. Last week she came at me and was reprimanding me because a patient who English is their second language, I had left them a message. They wanted to be seen because they were having some pain with one of their legs, and so since it was something new, I wanted to make her an appointment to have her be seen and see what was going on. And I had to leave a voice message, and on that voice message I clearly stated that she would not be seeing the physician she wanted to see because he didn't have any openings, but we had another physician who just basically takes any kind of emergency visits that are scheduled. Unfortunately, I don't know if she didn't listen to it or if she didn't, I don't know. But then the next day, the triage nurse that I share the position with got a hold of her and actually scheduled her with the alternate physician that could see her, because that's what they do is any emergency visits. And the patient filed a complaint stating that no one told her she was not seeing the physician she wanted to. And so my new manager, who's now being corporate trained, jumped all over me without looking to see that I actually didn't talk to the patient. I left voicemail that it was the other one, and said from now on, because she's filing a complaint that she didn't understand, was not told that it was going to be with this alternate physician, we can no longer just leave a voice messages or not talk to her in her native language. We need to use a interpreter program on our phone. So needless to say, we can't follow policy if it's not in their best interest and they're going to get a complaint. So then today she sends me a message and asked me to call a patient who had been asking for medication for a possible tick bite, and they are not a patient of any of our providers, have only been seen there on emergency basis, and we had no what we call power of right to talk to anybody else other than the patient. And so his wife was trying to give our secretary a really hard time about the fact that she wouldn't tell her anything that was going on, that she wanted to talk to the patient. And so because he wasn't the one talking and he is not a patient of our clinics, the secretary did the right thing and would not go ahead and just put him through for a conversation, and instead sent it to this new supervisor we're going to have, who then, instead of trying to deal with it herself, sent it on to me and said, hey, can you get a hold of this patient and just talk to the patient, because we don't have any thing signed that the wife is the one that we need to talk to, and she's really upset and she's going to drop off a letter of complaint tomorrow. So can you give him a call and see if he meets criteria, because we do have a criteria for what they can do to get some antibiotics for a tick bite, and then explain to him that the secretary was following protocol, but that the doctor is being nice enough that if he meets criteria, he will go against protocol and sign a script for him for this medication. I looked back, and this patient pulled the same thing back in July, and we made an appointment the next day to be seen by a provider so that we could make sure that he really did have the tick bite and that it wasn't something else going on. And he didn't show up for the appointment. So I let her know about that. And she's like, oh, I didn't see that. And I says, well, I will just try to call him, but it's kind of, we have policies, but we're not going to follow them if it's going to make somebody upset and they're going to write a letter of complaint. So which is it? Are we going to follow policy, or are we going to try to cater to people and do what they want us to do when they want us to do it? You got to let us know, guys, because we as healthcare workers are getting put in the middle of corporate wanting to do what's best for them and not get any black marks against them, or any patients upset with them. Or are you going to stand behind your employees following the policies and procedures that you as a corporation put in place? And you can't be if and when, and if it fits for this situation but not for the next one. It has to be across the board. That's why we have them. And if you're not going to follow them, then you're just being wishy-washy and putting us all in a bad spot. Anyway, that's kind of how my day's gone, and I'm certainly waiting for the day I can get the heck out of healthcare and be my own boss.